Again, literally as soon as I turned the camera on. That car was not there 2 seconds ago. Anyways, well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking in a wet welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. Or we did a damp welcome, I should say. It was clearly raining before, but as for right now, seems okay. Anyways, hope everyone had a great Christmas if you indeed celebrate it, or whichever holiday of your choice, if any. I don't know, do what you want. These people clearly have been in the Christmassy mood. In fact, quite honestly, I feel a bit like Zane, strolling down here looking at all the houses that partook in the decorating competition. 30 out of 100, you know. Well. So yeah, very much had an AFMAOI sort of Christmas, but mostly in private. Because I said it before, but I tend to watch a lot of particular AFMAO videos around the Christmas time. You know, they've held up much more than adopted by Dark Santa that's for certain. Aaron has won the decorations. Oh, I don't know. That one live action background. Aaron lives in a live action house briefly in my street. Anyways, obviously I've also surprisingly had a bit of a Harry Potter themed one as well. Even though we've stopped playing the trivia game every year. That used to be a thing. When we used to celebrate Christmas up at Liverpool, we actually, because my family there, that's kind of like the wizarding side of the family, essentially. I'm a half-blood. That's what I am. So yeah, my dad's side is the ones that are either were during like the first wave of hype for the books, or were, you know, the parents of the people who were the first wave of the hype of the books, and so they kind of all latched onto it at the same time. And plus my uncle's DVD collection, he undoubtedly has the extended edition somewhere. Anyway, point is, they are the side that are knowledgeable of Harry Potter overall. So, yeah, when I got that as a gift one year, for a brief while we started playing it every single year. That was until it became abundantly clear that I could absolutely smoke everyone else every time we played. At one point, I actually think I played host for that very reason. Yeah, I know, it just seems that even though I'd only read the books once through, in fact, there's still some I've only read once through, doing a reread currently, of the ones that I actually didn't repeat. And, yeah, despite that, I seem to have just absorbed everything. Which people know me on this channel, I'm pretty sure. People can find some level of accuracy in that. But yeah, we stopped playing that a while ago. But also because we're not in Liverpool anymore, so you know, that side of the family, we're not with them, so we just kind of spend Christmas as the four of us. And I missed the board game because I was streaming. Which is important as well, you know. I want to see some of you lot in the holidays too. Yeah, it has been another one of those very chaotic weeks. So, but also not as much, because I published the Negoette song this week, which was supposed to come out at least 3 days, if not 4 days, before it actually did. Every year on December 20th I try to, or 21st, I try to post an AFMAO song. Ironically enough, the Zane one that I did in 2019 is still generating new comments, more so than... Well, actually not more so than Negoette one. Negoette one didn't generate a lot of views, but generated a lot of comments, actually. Mainly from the guest singer complaining about said publication. But anyway, I was working on that, and I just kind of had to shelf the Christmas special of the Mutant Girl. And that was because at the same time as that, we run the day before we actually went for a walk that was a bit longer than usual. Is the theory at the moment is that I wasn't feeling well beforehand, but I know I felt kind of fine before. But yeah, since then I've had I've either had like mildly irritated parts of my head that are just, you know, the headache just kind of like moves around sometimes, and also just generally a bit lower energy than usual. You probably noticed even in my streams I've pulled back a little bit from my usual bombastic self. Not to say that that's gone entirely, because I don't think it would be a Jacob Butter stream without it, especially a gacha review for that matter. But yeah, definitely more restrained. So yeah, it's also the reason why I've been posting more 5 years later pretty much every day, because I'm not alternating it anymore. I have been doing that for like a month basically. I haven't been alternating it for a while because I'm trying to get the watch hours up. But yeah, honestly, December is crushing that. December is my most my most watched month in the past 12 months by a huge margin. And we're not done yet. So yeah, keep those views coming, and thank you for the support. Yeah. It's but yeah, as for the Christmas special, I made a community post saying that I was going to shelf it for next year, and just while I was recovered, because the day that the headache hit me the most, I was basically unable to do anything. Just one Nekoet song and that was it. But now I'm compiling the audio again, just because I wanted that to be all collected for next year. There's one scene that I'm cutting from the production, because honestly it doesn't really serve much of a purpose, and just basically was essentially fan service with the character appearance of Empress. 100 out of 100. Yeah, so but when I say fan service, I mean like the actual definition of fan service, not, you know, not like I made anything enticing, let's say. No, just I mean like she actually just, you know, has like a cameo appearance for literally no reason. I'm pretty sure that when we were writing some of the Christmas special, Aiden wanted certain characters to appear, and despite the fact that it was a very self-contained small story, Empress, of course, as a fan favourite, made the cut. But yeah, due to busyness of the voice actor, I haven't been able to actually arrange that to happen. But yeah, obviously I'm gonna notify her first, because unlike with the Puppet Master, I am going to keep her informed that, you know, one of the most fun parts of the production is being removed. If you don't know, in Monet's puppetry movie, which is being released in certain like acts and scenes now, there was originally going to be a character called the Puppet Master, voiced by moi, and that character was essentially kind of like the beginning and the end. It was like a supernatural creature that was sort of, well, he was the Puppet Master, so he was controlling what was happening and the story to people. Now, I guess he was a leftover device from when it was meant to be a play. But again, a lot of the fun elements are being removed bit by bit, whether it's certain lines or just, you know, less overly serious moments, which is going to come back possibly to bite her in terms of the actual relatability to the piece, because obviously with such a heavy-handed commentary, you need some sort of levity to balance that out. Just little bits here and there, and just so far, all of the cut parts, from what I remember, are those moments of levity. So again, there's a bit of a risk essentially. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Basically for this, fortunately enough, the Christmas special is basically almost nothing but levity, so we should be fine. Okay, so yeah, I keep saying that I was planning to shelf the Christmas special, but I'm talking about compiling the audio and everything. Reason being, there's actually there's actually another option, because I was talking to Ghosty yesterday. It turns out that Dumb Lyoko, which is one of two abridged Code Lyoko series that there are, posted a Christmas short, not really short, but a short video, not like YouTube short proper, a couple of days ago, and I of course sent it to the other most devoted Code Lyoko fan that I actually know. But yeah, it turns out, because there's in that video they mentioned that the Christmas special is going to be releasing around January or something, and then the actual caption says February. Then Ghosty says it's kind of justified to release the Christmas special on January, because sometimes it takes forever to actually make those things. So that got me thinking about actually still go with the storyboard idea, because if I actually wait until next year, I can make it so it's like a regular production and not just that storyboard idea that I came up with on the fly, purely because I wasn't going to have enough time to make the whole thing. I don't know now. And actually I was talking to Aiden last night as well, whilst working on the audio drama, so I've got Aiden along as a second pair of eyes now, and also contributor. So that's another Jacob and Aiden co-production. Get ready for that. But yeah, I had Aiden on call for last night, and I mentioned what I said to Ghosty, and yeah, he also said that it would be prudent to possibly release it now. It's not like people are going to complain about there being more Mutant Girl content, which yeah, is fair enough. The same applies to what you mentioned about remakes as well, because if people don't know, now is roughly the time when we start working on the remakes for every year. So again, some of you are new, so on every anniversary of the Mutant Girl, we do a remake of 1 or 2 episodes, except the first anniversary when we just did movie edits, which I will come back to as well, by the way. Got something to say about that too. Yeah, so we did that. We do that every year, and we usually start making that around January, so the voice actors have enough time to really start with that. But also don't want to. And also, it's usually a good time for like going back to your origins when the new year comes around and stuff. I'm thinking of doing 4 and 5 this year, but we're not really I haven't really announced that to the voice actors yet. I haven't like called in any lines from them and such, because again, usually January is the starting point for that. Although who knows, maybe I should call that in early, just so the holidays are still going. Because people have been quick to respond when they've forgotten lines this time, which I do appreciate. Because surprisingly, there were quite a few. At least this time around. No idea why. But yeah, as far as remakes go, you're talking about it could be. If we'll compile episodes 4 and 5 together, for example, go release them separately. Then I realised, they kind of do work together after I thought about it for a good long while. So yeah, my plan is to remake episode 4. Add 5 on top of that, but depends, because if 5 isn't ready, we'll wait for 5. And that will be a year wait, because I don't want to be posting remakes at random. The only reason I do them as an anniversary special is because that's that's a form of treat. I don't want to catch up to the main series too quickly and run out of stuff to do. And you say, oh yeah, well, you know, it's fine. It's not like you're a full 2 seasons ahead still, or 1.5. You should be fine with races of you know, several years and stuff. And I say, well, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, because of Siren Story last year, Mutant Girl didn't get any releases for what was it, like 8 months, which again is the longest gap I've ever had out of any release. And then, of course, next episode has been 3 months in the making. I'm sure that some of the editors who signed on for that have probably forgotten which scenes they were assigned or such. I really don't know. It's just one of those things where like, because of how slow the actual production is, I don't want to delay the real thing longer than I have to. Not to mention as well, I'm trying to actually get other shows out too. Alpha Witch Academy especially. Even that one, the one person who signed up to help with another scene, well, one person signed up to help with another scene and has forgotten about it, and another one actually did some animation, which lasted 1 whole second, which means I'm gonna have to expand it and try and do a bit more. So yeah, I don't know, because obviously I don't want to give myself the same, like, you know, arbitrary end of year deadline stuff, because that's also why I stopped doing final countdowns. I think people have noticed that. Well, actually, no one noticed, because most of you are new. I used to do a song on December 31st every year as well. I did that for 7 years running. And the reason I stopped was because it was always becoming a case of like a mad dash at the end of every single year to get that out on time. And also to summarize an entire year's worth of content in just, you know, in one song, years of worth of my life. Because I talk about the actual stuff that I went through during life as well. It was kind of interesting that, you know, I made a final. I'm glad that I made a final countdown song without knowing it was the last one I was going to do. Because yeah, actually last year was the time I was posting season 2 and trying to get that out desperately before the end of the year. And I spent 10 days on that one song, which then of course delayed everything with Siren Story, meaning I had to actually hyper-focus on that, meaning of then, you know, Mutant Girl got made, and it was all a huge mess. So yeah, but then at the same time, you know, I have 2 other videos that I promised to try and actually do. I wanted to get out. Alpha Witch Academy hasn't seen a release since 2021. It's kind of a bit of a letdown to wait until 23 for that, especially because, you know, the Mutant Girl is the one that people get the most hype about, the ones that people had to wait for the most for. But then every time a new episode of Alpha Witch Academy comes out, people are always over the moon about it. And again, I tried to make that into something that was a bit more consistent. Episode 2 took a month to make, and then this episode 3 hasn't been properly focused on for 2 years almost. It's just like, why? So yeah, I don't know. I'm still not 100%, but I'm gonna try. I'll try and see what happens and how I can process that. Whatever I can do. I'm pretty much giving up on the fact that the Mutant Girl Season 3 is going to have 1 release in the year that it debuted. Or the Mutant Girl overall is going to have 1 release in the year. Oh no, I guess technically, you know, episode 12, Season 2 was January, so Yeah, 2. But 2 videos for a whole year. That just for me, even though I said I wasn't going to give myself deadlines and stuff for it, that's just not good enough in my opinion. I don't blame any of the other people involved in that. I blame myself for not managing that. Because yeah, we've had season 3 written since 2021. Just kind of waiting for all the stuff that we actually fixed, hopefully, in season 2 to come back and actually pay off. So yeah, I really don't know. But the one thing's for sure, I'm going to keep doing the Christmas special. Maybe not release it before the new year, which is going to be an interesting concept. Maybe I'll aim for January 6th, Dia de Reyes, Three Kings Day. I don't know. It's basically Christmas for Spanish people, so why on earth not? Yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, I did say at the beginning of last year I was trying to endeavour to actually be more productive at that. Maybe that could be one of my New Year's resolutions for next year. Right on top of actually getting those 4,000 watch hours. Maybe the actual stuff people are really most interested in, if that comes out sooner, maybe that will be achieved in a much more succinct way. It's not just about the duration of the videos, because the long streams and stuff, they do a lot, but they're certainly limited. That being said, my project for the actual the 20-hour video, which I'm now running into 10 hours because YouTube's time limit, yeah, it's going to be a 9-hour video sometime soon. If 40 people watch that one and the next one, I'll be great. And there's also going to be a movie edit, because I want to post a movie edit as well at the end of the year. So please leave a like or dislike, your opinion matters, got on this already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.